Thank you, Mr. Chair.
My questions to our guest on the screen in Vancouver, Mr. Spurn and Constable Sayre. I would like you both have touched it at different angle, but I'm trying, before we dig into that home production topic, to get a sense of the scale of things and the scale of those risk or challenges, because from some witnesses sometimes we hear that it's going to be pretty minimal, like just not that big of challenges, and then we get the total amount, the total opposite, that it's going to be very, very challenging. So I'm trying to. I would like to hear you in terms of your experience, maybe what you know from international experience, what we know from the medicinal experience already in place, what we should expect in terms of scale, and in terms of challenges, in particular for you in terms of monitoring.
So I'll start off, and in regards to the medical regulations, we have consistently across Canada seen overproduction and diversion of the product with persons who have licenses to grow medically. So certainly a challenge for us. In regards to the 4 plants, I think one of the challenges for us is capacity. Certainly, as this starts to unroll the legislation, our focus as law enforcement will be on organized crime. Certainly, we are very engaged with the opioid crisis. So managing persons who may be overproducing, say for example 6 plants or 7 plants, will be challenging for law enforcement to be engaged in those types of investigations. So the capacity for us to be able to do that is going to be a challenge. And I guess maybe the third point I'll raise is youth and diversion to youth. What we know from Colorado State is that 45% of youth were able to get their cannabis through a person, an adult who obtained it legally. 22% was from a parent. So of course some of that is from a store, but also some of that is from diversion of product that was grown. So from our perspective, we certainly want to protect the youth. So and then I guess another final issue would be, we have continued concerns about that there's no limits to the amount that can be held within a private residence. That's a lot of marijuana, as we said, 12 ounces every 3 months to 4 months is a significant amount and exceeds what a typical heavy user would use in that period of time. So then our question would be, where would the excess cannabis be directed to? Because there certainly is, unless it's stored properly, a shelf life to that. I'll pass on to Inspector Spurn.
Just to add what Deputy Chief Sayre has already spoken about, I'll try not to repeat, but recently the Vancouver Police Department had a few of our members go down to Seattle and liaise with members of that police department just to get an idea of some of the challenges that they faced back in since 2012 with their implementation of recreational cannabis down there. And some of the things that they've run into since that time is obviously an increase in large-scale marijuana grow operations, an increase of street-level trafficking, and this is due to the disparity of a black market price versus a regulated price. Obviously, they've also run into an increase in the number of these oil extraction labs that I talked about, which are dangerous and explosive, and an increase in impaired driving. So, as well as increased break and enters, armed robberies, and other property crimes that revolve around cannabis. So that'll give you an idea. I think you asked about what other jurisdictions are facing that already have recreational cannabis that's legal.
Thank you. Do I still have time?